So Halloween is over. We are in full gift guide mode here at CTR. Going to be showing you guys a lot of things that we're going to be suggesting in our gift guide. And one of the things we love to get in there is stocking stuffers. And we can't think about stocking stuffers without Super Impulse coming to mind. So we're going to be showing you a couple of different products from the Super Impulse line. Today we're going to be starting with the world's smallest. Super Impulse has sent us a couple samples from the world's smallest line. Some of these have recently come out, some of these have been out for a little bit of time, but going to give you a flavor of the different kinds of products you can get out there. So we'll start with the packaging here, so you kind of get a sense of how these are packaged. The package is not going to mimic the traditional package that these products come in, but it is going to have the logos on it, and there's going to be some call outs on the product as well. I think this was aptly timed with the Barbie movie, considering it's both Rollerblade Barbie and the other one out right now is Cowgirl Barbie as well. So these should be hitting shelves already if they are not already on shelves. You should be able to find these Target, Walmart, FYE, World Market, a whole bunch of places, Amazon as well. They're going to be sold out sometimes, and you'll have to get it from secondary suppliers, or they aren't in stock yet, and you have to pay whatever the secondary market is charging. Just wait. But you can find these a lot of places. They range in price from $8 to $15 depending on where you get it from. But what you're going to get is a character here, and we'll show you some of the features in a moment. The next one, I'm really excited about this because I got to try it out in the booth at Toy Fair, so you might see our little demo video there. But it's an actual firing Nerf blaster, and it comes with, let's see here, 12 darts, 12 mini darts. So the Elite Series darts, if you're familiar with them, are already pretty small. So these are even smaller. So you're going to get a fully functioning Nerf Elite Series gun. So pretty cool. And it fires the darts, and we'll test it out here. We'll pick a target in a moment. But I think this one is a lot of fun. Any Nerf fan in your life will love it. I'm excited about it. I think it's just awesome to have a fully functioning Nerf gun that you can fit in your pocket, in your wallet almost. It's so small. And then last but not least, Trouble. So Trouble from their game series. It's a fully functional Trouble. The bubble pop thing is going to happen here. And it comes with all the pieces for the player pieces as well. They have a lot of these great tiny versions of games. There's Battleship. We showed you Magic the Gathering one year. So you can see some of our previous reviews in our World's Smallest section of our reviews. In our Super Impulse section of our reviews, and check out other games as well. But they do a great job of these little tiny games, and I think these are great for travel or in instances where space is at a premium, where you can kind of put this in your pocket and just bust it out anytime and start playing Trouble. And it's fully functional. All the pieces fit inside of the unit. I'll show you here. So it's really easy to travel with this, as opposed to some other tiny versions of games where the pieces just get lost really easy. This is pretty self-contained, and that's what I like about it. So that's just a quick overview of the packaging and the products here, but I'm going to actually show you guys these products up close. So I'll bring you in. These are kind of tiny, so I can't do like a 360 of these, but I'll have the camera in really close so you guys can check these out as I open them, and we'll go over the attributes of each of these characters. All right, well, you guys don't want to see me, you want to see the product, so we're really going to focus on them here in our close-ups. So these are sort of sealed in that tamper-proof casing that is just really difficult to open. So I'm going to go with my trusty X-Acto knife on this, and hopefully I don't slice my hand open. It's kind of, I don't like packaging like this, I'll be honest, but I understand when you're putting them on the shelf and they're at this sort of price point, you are concerned about people grabbing these things and just walking away. Or ripping the characters out of them or something like that. So there will be some level of security here with this kind of packaging. It's not something you can easily tear open. You really have to work on it. So we have our Barbie character here, and it comes with a little booklet on Super Impulse. And like I said, there are a lot of products out there, and I wasn't kidding. There are hundreds of products. Please look at the booth tour we did. You can go see that in our video history, but you can see a ton of games on here. Monopoly, Chutes and Ladders, Operation that really functions there. They even have a beer pong, mini beer pong, and then things like Battleship, like I said. There's Rock 'em Sock 'em Robots. There's just so many awesome things in the the world's smallest line. And then they have micro figures, these little tiny action figures. We will be doing micro figures as well, so we'll let you guys check that out. And then you also have potato heads, and you have this new line of 3-inch figures. We're going to show you guys those as well. But there are just a ton. Here's the potato heads. There's just a ton of products. So there's likely something for everybody in your life from Super Impulse. Perfect stocking stuffer gifts, and they're right at that great price point of like $8 to $10. So this Barbie set comes with a stand, and the stand here has the Barbie written on it. Let's see if I can figure this out. I think it just kind of plugs in like this. Yeah, why not? We'll go with that. Or maybe not. Maybe this one does. All right. So they designed it so it only fits in one way. Perfect. So we have the Barbie here. Now there's not going to be any articulation. I mean, this is a mini Barbie here, the world's smallest Barbie actually. So the knees aren't going to bend, but you can move the arms. But you can't move the legs even just at the hip. So that's kind of limited there. So you have arm articulation and head articulation. There should be a way to stand her up on this. I'm not really sure. Maybe it just kind of pushes on the back. I'll figure it out in a moment. But basically what you're looking at with this is that great detail of the world's smallest Barbie. It still captures all the Barbie details. So she's got her neon on, she's got her rollerblades, her arm pads, her knee pads, and it's got this real rooted hair, just like the Barbies do. So this isn't just painted on there. This is really there. This is rooted hair. So they went through the process of putting each one of these strands into this head. So this is essentially what a Barbie would be at this scale. So nothing too surprising there. I mean, it really is a Barbie. So the world's smallest Barbie, as aptly named. So for anyone that's a huge fan in your life, a kid or even an adult that used to collect Barbies, it's a fun little Barbie to have and keep around, basically. So I'll try to figure out the stand here in between shots so I can show you how to make it work. But I don't see any kind of hole in the back here. They don't want to do that. Oh, look, you can, at the waist here, you can articulate it. So there is that extra point there as well. I'll try to figure out how the stand is supposed to work, because I kind of thought like you would connect it here and have the Barbie stand up, but that doesn't seem to want to do that. So we'll figure this out in a moment. But that is essentially your Barbie. With all those details there. And like I said, there's a cowboy Barbie as well. There seems to be some other ones in the line. They might be a little bit older than this newer version of Barbie. So for the older ones, they'll be on this full-size pull-out. But you have a couple of other Barbie options as well in the collection. So if you're a Barbie enthusiast, yeah, there's older versions of Rollerblade Barbie and Cowgirl that have the pink costume like Margot Robbie wore in the movie, and then a different sort of like, I want to call them Crazy Pants Barbie. You remember Crazy Pants from the 90s? So you can get those versions as well. So that's all for Barbie. Let's check out the Pop-O-Matic Trouble game. All right, on to Trouble first. You see, we figured out Barbie. We were missing this piece. It was in this bag. I didn't see it because it's clear, but essentially it's just a little ring that goes around Barbie, and now it holds her firmly in place, so you can display your Barbie. So we'll just move Barbie off to the side here, while we crack into this Pop-O-Matic Trouble travel game. So again, this is going to have that difficult packaging. Oops. But now we kind of figured out our way of getting through this without trying to destroy the table underneath it. And then boom, there we have our Pop-O-Matic Trouble. That was really easy to get to. And this should essentially have all the parts here. Okay, so instead of a pop out, so there's no hinge, which I love, because over time that would wear, it slides into it. So that way you can make sure that you're not losing this bottom part. And you could keep it on there at any time or slide it out. And then it should have this pop function. There it goes. It works exactly like it should. And it's got that 6-sided die in there, and it's working exactly like it should with the pop function. So next up, you have your little tiny pieces. It even tells you here to play, slide off storage drawer, and play on a flat, firm surface, because you need that point of contact to get that popping working. So I'll just take out 1 or 2 colors here just to test it out. And these little holes here should line up with the pegs, essentially, that when you start here in home, and it even says home, the letters H-O-M-E are written in here. They should fit into each one of the little spots. Yep, they do. I have giant hands, so they are hard for, I put it in the wrong color too. Yellow should be in yellow, and red should be over here in red. So I have giant hands, so I'm going to mitt it into place. If you have tiny hands, it's probably easier to play a game like this, maybe with tweezers. But you would essentially pop the ball, pop the die here, and then you would move. I think it starts this way: 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think you need a 1 to get out, or something like that. So you'd move into the first position. Let's see if there are instructions, because that would be great to include with this, because I haven't played Trouble in a while. So hopefully there's mini instructions. I don't see any. We'll see if they're in this booklet. I think it's just the booklet. I mean, you could always look it up online, but I think you need to roll a 1 or a 2 in order to get out of the home. And then, yeah, it's just the booklet here. And then you need to get essentially by exact number to get it in all these spaces as you go around the board. And if someone steps on you, you had to go back to home and restart the whole process. But yeah, so I would get out here onto the start position with the 1. And that's basically it for Trouble. But I do like how it has the pop function there. Although I don't like how this flies out if you pop it with great enthusiasm. I think you just need to hold it while you do it, because if there's wobble here, it's going to send it flying. So this is me holding it. This is me not holding it. Well, it's a little bit more firm that time. But yeah, that's basically Trouble. It has all the glorious aspects of Trouble here, the individually colored end zones. It has where you're going to be putting your character here. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially functioning like it should be functioning. So it's really cool that the pop pops right here, the die pops, and it makes that popping sound. And that's basically all you need for Pop It. But I love how they give you this really tiny bag here to store your pieces, and that's great. And it's got that zip function on it, so you know it's secure. I think just throwing them in here, you're going to lose them, because what would happen is there's excuse me here, there's enough of a gap between here that they might slide out if you just threw them in there. But I'm pretty sure they would. So keep them in that bag, store it in this little slide drawer, and you have everything you need to fit it in your pocket. I mean, it's really tiny, world's smallest, so that's exactly what you want to see out of it. So this is a new one this year. Really cool. I think they did a great job with this, and I think you'll be very happy with it. Take it on the road, put it in your pocket if you're waiting in line somewhere, play a little Trouble. So that is all for Trouble. Now let's move on to that awesome looking Nerf gun. With Barbie and Trouble out of the way, let's move on to this Nerf gun. I know you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to check this thing out. Played with it a little bit at Toy Fair, but I really didn't get to push its limits, although I don't know how you push the limits of a Nerf gun. I know there's like a whole modding group out there for making Nerf fire even harder than it does, or adding other components to it, but we're just going to be testing this out to see what it does as a normal Nerf gun. There we go. So, opening from this side here. So we have our Nerf gun, and see if it gives us instructions on how to load, because I was thinking it loaded like a standard Nerf gun when I was at Toy Fair, but it does not. It's got a unique way of loading it. So we have the little darts here, and they still come in that weird little packaging that darts do come in. So I think this one, and there are no instructions on it, but I think this one you load at the top here. Yep. So you put the dart in, and then you push it down, and then you you pull the handle back, the stock, and then you fire. So the firing works, but you cannot store darts in the clip. So the clip is not functional. It only fires and stores, I believe, 1 dart at a time. So that is the only limitation to it. Hopefully this opens, and I don't have to cut this one open. I see tape on it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there is tape on it. So we'll use our trusty X-Acto knife to get the front kit open here. There we go. I want to try to keep that on there to keep these darts in, because these are going to get lost really fast. All right, and that's probably why they give you 12 of them. All right, so these darts are not foam. These are plastic, so they are not going to function like foam. So you put the dart in, essentially here, and we're going to test 1 dart out first, and then I'll put 2 to see how many you could fit in the magazine here. Not really a magazine. So what are we going to use for a target? I think it's kind of mean to shoot Barbie, So for target emergencies, I always keep my 1991 Kenner T800 figure around. So we'll be using our T800 here to test this out. So I'm going to put T800 here, and I'm going to have this just in case I miss, so I don't have to go looking for this micro dart. So we're going to pull the stock back just like that. We're going to line it up. I'm not going to get behind it, but you can see the sort of fake iron sights there. And then we're going to fire that trigger from back here. Oh, and I just missed. So let me try that again. I'm going to angle that up a little bit. I'm not sure what the effective range is on this. Here we go. There we go. So I hit him in the waist and it bounced and flew off like I thought it would. But yeah, it's pretty cool how that functions. Pretty accurate. Like I said, I don't know the maximum effective range on this. I'll try it out in a minute here. But why don't we put in a couple darts to see if we could store a couple in the gun instead of having to reload it every single time. So we're going to pull this back. Now I'm going to take this. This is about 2 feet here. We'll see if this can shoot straight for 2 feet. And yep, it did with a lot of velocity. And we're going to load that second one. Yeah, it did again. So it looks like you can load multiple in. Let's test this out really quick to see how many we can put in here. So that's 1, 2. I'm going to guess you can get 3 in here. Oh, I got that one in on an angle. I'm going to guess about 3, and then it's going to fill to capacity. So 1, 2, and maybe one more. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. I think you could get 3, and then after 3, it's gonna. You could probably, okay, you could probably, you know, prime 1 in there and then put 3 in. So I'm gonna say 4 if you have one in the chamber. So 4 total is gonna be your number. Yeah, and that's it. But that's pretty cool that you can store up to 4 in there and then fire it every time. I don't even know if you could see this because it's firing with such velocity and it's so tiny. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll give you a close-up of the dart in a second. Yeah, so here is the dart. Like I said, it's really tiny and it's hard to see, but it has that orange tip, tiny body. It's not hollow like the other one is. This is solid and it's plastic. It's not foam, but this is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Even though you can't use the clip, that would have taken it over the top. This is pretty cool. You could put 3 darts in here and then you could just pull that stock back and fire. And what I love about this is not only is this great for just fun for you to play with yourself, but if you had like, let me grab this guy here. If you had like a 6 or 7 inch figure, I mean, this essentially works for them. His grip probably isn't big enough, but you could essentially use this here, and then he has a Nerf gun. I mean, your 6-inch figure, then your Marvel Legends series or whatever, could play with a Nerf gun, and I think that's really cool. And that's sort of the fun thing about these world's smallest products, or the micro figures, or any of these products I'll show you. It's not just the fact that it's cool in its own right, but they end up being, you know, accessories for your other characters. So now he has a full-size Nerf gun or a game of Trouble that he could play with his little turtle brothers. So pretty cool on that. And the Barbie doll can be a Barbie doll for Barbie dolls. So something to think about. Not just a mini character, but it becomes an accessory or something for you to use on your displays. And it's just kind of like a fun little scale game to go along with your display. So keeping everything in scale, I think this is about right for a 6-inch figure. If this was the large version of the Elite Strike Blaster, the N-Strike, and I think it totally is. So I think this works with the 6-inch, 7-inch sort of figure scheme. And then you could have Leonardo playing Nerf. So pretty cool that this also can do that, but I think it's awesome the way it works on its own with these darts. I mean, it's a lot of velocity, easy to load. It's not going to get jammed because they're not soft darts, and they're not going to go out sideways or anything like that. The only thing I wish you can get, and maybe they'll do this in the future, is more of these darts, because you're going to lose these. I mean, they're so tiny, but it's so cool. So definitely worth checking this out and giving this to the Nerf fan in your life, or just yourself. I mean, you could put a key ring through there and then this is on your keychain. So something to think about. And that is all for our look at the world's smallest line for Super Impulse. This is not the entire line. These are just a couple products we wanted to show you of recent releases so you guys kind of have an idea of the product offering out there. These are all amazing. The key operative word here is they're fully functional. These are not little keychains or pictures of something. This is a fully functional Barbie doll. This is a fully functional game of Trouble. With all its pieces, and it works exactly like the large version does, and it's a fully functional Nerf gun. This great Nerf toy here, released this year, and it, like I said, you could store up to 3 darts in here, or 4 with 1 in the chamber, and then start rapid firing at someone. They're really tiny. I've not tried, I do not recommend it. I have not tried trying to see what this feels like by shooting myself or someone else. They're really tiny. These are going to take an eye out, no problem. So I do not recommend firing these at anybody. But they're a great way to, fire at your toys or other targets. Like I showed you, they could go with some of your 6 or 7 inch action figures. And it's perfect because this is what it would be in size for them, is what it would be the life-size version for you. So it's a great way to do in scale if you're a diorama builder or anything like that. Definitely check out the world's smallest products because they will work well without you having to build your own little versions of these games, depending on your scale, obviously. But this is really cool for that 1/12 scale. I think these are just perfect. I mean, this is like a Barbie doll for Barbies. This is a Nerf gun for any of the characters in that scale range. So that is perfect. We're also going to be showing you guys the micro series of figures. We have done reviews before on that. We showed you He-Man and the first wave of Transformers and the amazing G.I. Joe figures as well. We're going to show you a couple more. I don't want to spoil it. Tune back. I think you'll really like what we have to show you. Those are also perfect for your 1/12 series dioramas because they're like action figures for action figures. So check those out when we do that review in the coming weeks as well. We'll have links. If I could find links for these from first-party makers, I will set them up for you. But like I said, if you go to a store, you see them on the shelves at Target, you see them on the shelves at Walmart in the toy aisle or in the front aisle. Depends on your store. You can find them in a variety of places. They're at World Market. They used to be at Bed Bath & Beyond, but Bed Bath & Beyond doesn't exist anymore. So they'll be in the front of stores like that, and then you can get them offline as well. FYE carries them. So there are a whole assortment of places, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you to find these. Finding the one you want might be a little trickier. Like I said, you can buy them offline, but you're probably going to pay a little bit more from secondary sellers. So that is all for this time. Tune back to see more Super Impulse and see our gift guide at the end of November, right before the holidays, so you can get those special items for that fan in your life. Like, subscribe, and follow, and we will see you guys next time.